In a world increasingly shaped by economic tensions, the implications of Donald Trump's return to the White House are reverberating across global markets, particularly in China. With the reinstatement of tariffs on Chinese imports, American families may face a potential $110 billion economic impact, prompting fears of rising costs across the board. The latest developments underscore the fragility of the current global economic landscape as nations grapple with the fallout from heightened trade disputes. As the National People's Congress (NPC) kicks off in China, Premier Li Qiang has reiterated a modest growth target of around 5% for the upcoming year. This comes amid a backdrop of significant challenges: record youth unemployment, deflation, and a struggling property market. Li's cautious optimism reflects a broader strategy of boosting domestic consumption and stabilizing various sectors to counterbalance the impacts of external pressures, particularly from the U.S. tariffs. Achieving this year's targets will not be easy, and we must make arduous efforts to meet them, Li warned, indicating the uphill battle ahead. The recent announcement of an additional 10% tariff on all Chinese imports is a direct escalation of the trade war initiated during Trump's previous administration. In retaliation, China has imposed tariffs on a range of American agricultural products, a move that experts suggest is aimed at avoiding a major confrontation while maintaining a tit-for-tat approach. Chong Jia-ian, a political expert from the National University of Singapore, noted that the response from Beijing so far has been to go tit-for-tat but not really make a big issue out of it, reflecting a strategic choice to mitigate further escalation. Xi Jinping's recent speech, published in the official CCP journal countr, emphasizes a long-standing commitment to self-reliance and political security. This notion resonates strongly in the context of the ongoing trade tensions, illustrating China's resolve to navigate economic adversity without deviating from its core principles. Jacob Gunter, an economist at the Mercator Institute for China Studies, observed that the last 2 years have been terrible for China's economy, yet the leadership remains steadfast in its pursuit of a defined trajectory. This is the path, and we should not expect deviation from it, he stated, reinforcing the expectation of continuity in policy despite external pressures. The NPC is expected to focus on long-term strategies aimed at bolstering party-state capitalism, enhancing innovation, and fostering loyalty to Xi's leadership, while no major policy shifts are anticipated. The emphasis on consumer spending and domestic demand points to an acknowledgement of the urgent need to stimulate the economy. Reports indicate that China plans to inject substantial investments into infrastructure projects and issue long-term treasury bonds to alleviate pressures stemming from decreased tax revenues and a sluggish property market. Despite these measures, analysts express skepticism regarding their effectiveness in addressing the root causes of China's economic malaise. The prevailing public anxiety over future earnings, coupled with declining real estate values, poses significant challenges to boosting consumer confidence. Economist Michael Pettis highlighted that while low confidence is a factor, structural issues may play a more significant role in the ongoing economic struggles. As global trade dynamics evolve, the interplay between U.S. tariffs and China's economic policies will be crucial in shaping future developments. The trajectory of China's economy, characterized by a push for self-sufficiency and technological advancements, remains uncertain as it grapples with both external pressures and internal challenges. As the NPC unfolds, the world will be closely watching how China navigates these turbulent waters, with implications that could resonate far beyond its borders. The coming months will undoubtedly reveal whether the strategies laid out during this critical period can effectively mitigate the economic fallout from renewed trade hostilities. In a world where political narratives often clash with economic realities, China's recent National People's Congress (NPC) offers a profound glimpse into the country's strategic direction amidst growing internal and external pressures. On March 5, 2025, as the NPC convened, Premier Li Qiang presented a work report that reinforced existing policies aimed at stabilizing the economy while subtly acknowledging the significant challenges that lie ahead. At the heart of the discussions was President Xi Jinping's speech published in the CCP's official journal on January 1, which called for a prolonged struggle to secure political stability and achieve self-reliance in the face of adversity. She emphasized that striving for security through struggle brings genuine security, a sentiment that reflects China's leadership's unwavering commitment to its ideological foundations despite the tumultuous backdrop of economic difficulties, including record youth unemployment and deflationary pressures. Jacob Gunter, an economist with the Mercator Institute for China Studies, noted that the publication of Xi's speech delivered in February 2023 underscores the leadership's steadfastness in pursuing its long-term goals. The last 23 months have been terrible for China's economy, terrible for households, Gunter remarked, indicating that despite the hardships there is little expectation of a shift in strategy. As the NPC began its week-long session, the emphasis on continuity became evident, especially as Li reiterated a growth target of around 5% for 2025 alongside a 7.2% increase in military spending. The NPC's proceedings highlight a critical aspect of China's political machinery, its ability to prioritize long-term objectives over immediate economic challenges. With an agenda that includes boosting domestic consumption, stabilizing the property market, and enhancing foreign investment, the NPC reflects a calculated approach to navigating current adversities. However, experts like Gunter caution against complacency, noting that the continuity in policy amidst economic downturns is quite remarkable yet potentially perilous. Moreover, the context of the NPC is further complicated by external factors, particularly the trade tensions with the United States under President Donald Trump. The U.S. has reinstated tariffs on Chinese imports, prompting a tit-for-tat response from Beijing. Chong Jia-Ian, a political expert from the National University of Singapore, observed that China's measured response reflects a strategic decision to avoid escalating trade conflicts that could exacerbate economic hardships. The expectation is that getting into a big spat would exacerbate matters, he stated. As she continues to advocate for self-reliance, there has been a notable shift in his approach towards the technology sector, marked by a recent meeting with industry leaders to encourage innovation and growth. This pivot signals a recognition of the economic slowdown and the urgent need for revitalization efforts. Nonetheless, achieving meaningful improvements in domestic consumption remains a challenge, with structural issues underlying consumer confidence and spending habits. In the face of these challenges, Li's work report outlined ambitious plans to invest in infrastructure projects and issue special treasury bonds to stimulate the economy. However, analysts express skepticism regarding the effectiveness of these measures in addressing the root causes of stagnation. Julian Evans Pritchard from Capital Economics noted that while fiscal support has increased, it may not sufficiently counteract the broader economic malaise. As China navigates this complex landscape, the NPC serves as a critical barometer for the nation's future trajectory. The leadership's commitment to its ideological tenets, even amid adverse conditions, suggests that significant changes in policy direction are unlikely. The coming months will be pivotal in determining whether China's economy can rebound from its current struggles or if the challenges will deepen, necessitating a reassessment of the strategies that have defined its growth narrative. In conclusion, as China grapples with the dual pressures of domestic strife and international scrutiny, all eyes will remain on the NPC's outcomes and the government's ability to balance ideological fidelity with economic pragmatism. Future developments will hinge on whether the leadership can translate its ambitious goals into tangible results while maintaining stability in a rapidly changing world. This winter, the southern shore of Lake Erie has become a focal point for extreme weather phenomena, particularly the record-breaking lake-effect snowstorms that have devastated local communities. A recent feature by National Geographic sheds light on the severity of these storms, which have left some areas buried under more than 5 feet of snow. As the cold months progressed, this winter has emerged as one of the most significant in terms of snowfall, prompting both concern and intrigue among meteorologists and residents alike. The article, published on February 26, 2025, highlights a particularly intense storm that struck from November 29 through December 3 following Thanksgiving. This storm was particularly fierce in Erie and Ashtabula counties where the snow accumulation exceeded 5 feet. This trend of extreme snowfall is not merely a seasonal anomaly but is indicative of a broader shift in climatic patterns as winters warm. Stephen Starr of National Geographic notes, the smallest and shallowest of the Great Lakes can be expected to produce fewer but more severe snowstorms as winters continue to warm. Indeed, the impacts of these lake-effect snowstorms are far-reaching. In January alone, Erie recorded a total of 16.7 inches of snow during a significant storm from January 1 to 3, contributing to a notable disparity between the average monthly snowfall of 31.8 inches. This fluctuation underscores a growing concern among meteorologists regarding the unpredictability and intensity of winter weather in the Great Lakes region. Moreover, National Geographic's exploration into the causes of these storms reveals that the warm air from the relatively warmer lake waters interacts with the cold air masses sweeping down from Canada, creating the perfect conditions for heavy snow. In January, for example, the Erie region of Pennsylvania recorded an average amount of snowfall for the month, but half of that fell in just 3 days, Starr elaborates, illustrating the sporadic and extreme nature of these weather events. Interestingly, the phenomenon of lake-effect snow is not confined solely to the Great Lakes. National Geographic points out that similar conditions have been observed along the Gulf Coast in Istanbul and in cities adjacent to the Sea of Japan, indicating that this weather pattern may be more widespread than previously thought. This raises questions about the implications of climate change and the potential for increased heavy snowfall in diverse geographic regions. As communities along the shores of Lake Erie grapple with the aftermath of these storms, attention is now turning to the potential for future snowfall records. With the combination of warming temperatures and unpredictable weather patterns, residents can expect a winter season that may continue to challenge their resilience and preparedness. In conclusion, as climate change reshapes weather patterns across the globe, the lessons learned from this winter's lake-effect snowstorms will undoubtedly influence future discussions on climate adaptation and community preparedness. As scientists and meteorologists continue to study these phenomena, it is clear that understanding the relationship between warming winters and extreme weather events like lake-effect snow will be crucial for forecasting and managing the impacts of climate change in the years to come. In an era marked by rapid technological advancements and dynamic shifts in the global economy, the recent developments surrounding the U.S. Agency for International Development (USAID) have raised significant concerns about their implications for the American workforce. As USAID implements a restructuring strategy aimed at enhancing efficiency, the fallout from these changes is already being felt across various sectors. On March 5, 2025, Forbes reported that the dismantling of certain programs within USAID is projected to disrupt the employment landscape significantly. This strategic pivot has sparked debates about the potential collateral damage to the U.S. workforce, which is still recovering from the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. When you cut back on international aid and development programs, you are not just affecting foreign nations, the repercussions come home, noted an anonymous source familiar with the agency's internal discussions. The decision to streamline operations stems from a desire to reallocate resources more effectively, but critics argue that it could compromise critical services that support both domestic and international stability. Experts in economic policy have voiced concerns that diminishing USAID's reach could exacerbate existing global crises, leading to increased instability that ultimately requires more substantial U.S. intervention later. The data suggests that weakened international partnerships could lead to a rise in migration pressures and geopolitical tensions, thus posing a long-term threat to U.S. interests. Moreover, the impact of these cuts on the workforce is multifaceted. A reduction in funding for development programs could lead to job losses not only within USAID but also in the private sector, where numerous contractors rely on government projects for their operations. The ripple effect could displace thousands of skilled workers, particularly in fields related to international development, humanitarian assistance, and public health. This is not just about numbers on a spreadsheet. it's about real people and communities that rely on USAID for support, emphasized a labor market analyst. As the restructuring progresses, many are calling for a reassessment of priorities, urging decision-makers to consider the long-term implications of these cuts. The potential for increased unemployment and the loss of skilled labor could hinder the U.S.'s ability to respond effectively to global challenges, ultimately compromising national security. Looking ahead, the situation necessitates careful monitoring. Stakeholders from various sectors must engage in dialogue to ensure that the U.S. remains a leader in international development while safeguarding the interests of its workforce. The interplay between domestic economic stability and global responsibilities will likely shape policy decisions in the coming months. As these discussions unfold, the future of the U.S. workforce hangs in the balance, with the outcomes of these reforms poised to shape the landscape for years to come. And the ever-evolving landscape of technology and business. Recent developments highlight the intricate interplay between corporate strategies and global economic forces. As companies navigate challenges ranging from trade tariffs to data governance, the responses of industry leaders can provide critical insights into future trends. OneTouch.io has recently announced a remarkable 500% year-over-year growth in new bookings, a milestone that underscores the increasing demand for advanced data security solutions. The company, a key player in contextual data intelligence, attributes its success to the rising need for accurate AI-driven data discovery and classification. Notably, OneTouch.io has reported zero customer churn and has expanded its clientele to include several Fortune 500 companies, reflecting the platform's effectiveness in managing sensitive data across diverse environments. Our growth trajectory is a testament to the critical role data governance plays in today's enterprises, said a company spokesperson, emphasizing the importance of robust data management solutions in an era marked by heightened compliance challenges. Conversely, the impact of geopolitical decisions is starkly illustrated by recent statements from Best Buy's CEO Corie Barry regarding the ramifications of President Donald Trump's tariffs. During a recent earnings call, Barry described the current trade landscape as highly dynamic, noting that a 25% tariff on goods from Mexico and Canada alongside increased tariffs on Chinese products would likely lead to price increases for consumers. Everyone in the industry is facing this, all the way to what gets passed on to the consumer, she stated, highlighting the complexity of the supply chain in the consumer electronics market. Although Best Buy only directly imports a small percentage of its inventory, the broader implications of tariffs could ripple through the entire value chain, impacting pricing strategies and consumer behavior over time. Barry's insights are particularly poignant as they reflect the broader economic uncertainty. She noted that while consumers have been spending at record levels, the volatility introduced by tariffs could influence their purchasing decisions. It's a volatile environment for the consumer, she remarked, underscoring the need for retailers to adapt quickly in response to shifting economic conditions. Following her comments, Best Buy stock saw a notable decline, indicating investor concerns regarding the potential fallout from these trade policies. In the realm of media and entertainment, a warning from a Disney executive to Amazon regarding potential changes to the James Bond franchise further illustrates the competitive tensions that exist within the industry. With Amazon's acquisition of MGM, the stakes are high for how classic properties like Bond will evolve. The executive's caution reflects a broader concern about maintaining the integrity and legacy of established franchises amidst corporate restructuring and strategic pivots. As we look ahead, the intersection of technology, corporate governance, and global economics will undoubtedly continue to shape industry dynamics. Companies like OneTouch.io are paving the way for innovative solutions in data management, while established retailers like Best Buy must navigate the complexities of international trade. The ongoing dialogue between corporate leaders and policymakers will be vital in addressing these challenges and seizing opportunities in a rapidly changing landscape. As we move forward, the ability to anticipate and adapt to these shifts will be crucial for businesses aiming to thrive in the coming years. In a significant restructuring move, Disney has announced the reduction of its workforce by 6% at ABC Network and its entertainment television division. This decision, revealed in a recent statement, highlights the ongoing challenges facing traditional media companies as they navigate an increasingly competitive landscape dominated by streaming services and shifting viewer preferences. The cuts, affecting hundreds of employees, are part of Disney's broader strategy to streamline operations and reduce costs in response to declining advertising revenues and viewership on linear television. The company has been under pressure to adapt to the changing media environment, where online platforms like Netflix and Amazon Prime have gained substantial market share, drawing audiences away from conventional cable networks. Disney's CEO Bob Chapek emphasized the necessity of this move during a recent earnings call, stating, "To maintain our competitive edge, we must evolve our business model to meet the expectations of our audience." He further noted that the restructuring is aimed at reallocating resources towards content creation that resonates more with current consumer demands, particularly focusing on digital and streaming platforms. The impacts of this decision extend beyond immediate job losses. They reflect a broader trend within the media industry as companies re-evaluate their business strategies in light of a rapidly changing media consumption landscape. According to a recent report from eMarketer, over 45% of U.S. households are now subscribed to at least one streaming service, a statistic that underscores the urgency for traditional networks to innovate and adapt. Industry analysts suggest that while these layoffs may provide short-term financial relief, they could also hinder creativity and programming diversity, which have historically been strengths of ABC. A leaner workforce could mean fewer innovative ideas and a reduction in the quality of content, cautioned media analyst Laura Martin. In an era where content is king, this could be a risky gamble for Disney. Moreover, the implications of these layoffs may ripple through the advertising market. With fewer personnel dedicated to producing high-quality content, advertisers could become less interested in associating their brands with a network perceived to be in decline. This could lead to further reductions in ad revenue, creating a vicious cycle that could prove difficult for Disney to escape. As Disney implements these changes, the company is also focusing on its streaming service Disney+, which has seen rapid growth since its launch. The platform is expected to play a pivotal role in Disney's future strategy, with investments in original content and exclusive releases aimed at attracting and retaining subscribers. Looking ahead, it remains to be seen how Disney will balance the need for cost-cutting with the imperative to innovate and deliver compelling content. With ongoing shifts in consumer behavior and competitive pressures, the media giant faces a crucial test in its ability to adapt and thrive in a digital-first world. As the landscape continues to evolve, all eyes will be on Disney to see how it navigates these turbulent waters while maintaining its legacy as an entertainment leader. As we mark the 5-year anniversary of the COVID-19 pandemic's declaration by the World Health Organization, reflections on the global health crisis reveal a complex tapestry of lessons learned and challenges yet to be addressed. The pandemic, which began in late 2019 with a mysterious pneumonia outbreak in Wuhan, China, quickly escalated into a global emergency. It transformed daily life, imposed unprecedented public health measures, and tested the resilience of healthcare systems worldwide. In the early days, the world witnessed heart-wrenching scenes as hospitals overflowed and refrigerated trucks served as makeshift morgues in cities like New York. Fast forward to 2025. And while COVID-19 remains a persistent presence, its threat level has significantly diminished, thanks in part to widespread immunity from vaccinations and prior infections. It is not at the level of an emergency that it once was, states Jennifer Nuzzo, an epidemiology professor at Brown University, though she cautions that predicting the virus's future behavior remains challenging. Despite the current relative calm, COVID-19 continues to claim lives, over 7 million globally, with many experts believing this figure is an underestimation. While the virus has become less lethal, it still triggers localized outbreaks, highlighting the need for ongoing vigilance. Maria van Kerkhove, the technical lead for COVID response at the WHO, emphasizes the importance of not forgetting the lessons learned. COVID is not gone, she insists, reminding us of the collective trauma experienced worldwide. The transition from a pandemic to an endemic phase has prompted public health experts to scrutinize the U.S. response to COVID-19, identifying both successes and failures. Early missteps such as inadequate testing protocols and delayed recognition of airborne transmission undermined initial containment efforts. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's flawed testing strategy created significant bottlenecks, while initial public health messaging regarding mask usage caused confusion. The challenge was the use specifically of that word airborne, reflects Van Kerkhove, acknowledging the evolving understanding of transmission methods. As the pandemic unfolded, measures like school closures intended to protect vulnerable populations became contentious topics. Critics argue that prolonged closures negatively impacted children's mental health and educational development. Lengthy blanket closures could have been replaced by more sustainable interventions, suggests Michael Osterholm, a public health expert. This highlights the delicate balance public health professionals must navigate, protecting public health while minimizing disruption to societal norms. On a positive note, the rapid development of effective vaccines within a year of the pandemic's onset showcased scientific ingenuity. The mRNA vaccines, which have been pivotal in controlling severe disease, were heralded as one of the fastest vaccine developments in history due to significant investments and collaboration among researchers and government agencies. To me, the hero of this pandemic is the National Institutes of Health, remarks Paul Offit, an infectious disease physician. However, the rollout of these vaccines faced political polarization, with misinformation and resistance complicating public health efforts. A Pew survey indicates that nearly 3/4 of U.S. adults believe the pandemic exacerbated societal divisions. The response to COVID-19 became a reflection of broader societal attitudes, with trust in public health recommendations and collective action eroded in some communities. Anthony Fauci, former head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, articulated the tragic irony: the common enemy is the virus. And we were acting in many situations and in many respects as if the enemy were each other. Looking ahead, experts warn that the world remains vulnerable to future pandemics. Current threats include the H5N1 avian influenza outbreak, which has infected both poultry and humans. The CDC has reported human cases, raising concerns about potential transmission and the need for effective public health strategies. As the Trump administration proposes measures to address rising egg prices due to the outbreak, the potential for a more extensive pandemic looms over ongoing discussions about public health preparedness. Despite the lessons learned from COVID-19, the current public health infrastructure faces challenges. Many experts argue that trust in scientific institutions has been compromised, which could hinder efforts to respond effectively to future outbreaks. Right now, I think we're less prepared for the next pandemic than we were in 2020, warns Osterholm. As we reflect on the past 5 years, it is evident that while some progress has been made, the journey toward robust public health preparedness is ongoing. The COVID-19 pandemic has reshaped our understanding of infectious diseases, emphasizing the need for transparency, collaboration, and adaptability in public health response strategies. The road ahead will require not only a commitment to learning from past mistakes but also a collective effort to foster trust and cooperation in the face of future health crises. In a groundbreaking study published in Nature, researchers have unveiled a novel mechanism by which aspirin may play a crucial role in preventing cancer metastasis. This research illuminates the intricate interactions between platelets' immune responses and cancer cell behavior, providing fresh insights into potential therapeutic strategies for combating cancer recurrence. Metastasis, the process by which cancer cells spread from their primary sites to distant organs, is responsible for approximately 90% of cancer-related deaths globally. Surprisingly, early-stage metastasizing cancer cells are particularly susceptible to immune attacks as they lack the immunosuppressive environments typical of established tumors. This vulnerability has prompted interest in leveraging the immune system to thwart recurrence in patients with early-stage cancers. The study spearheaded by Jie Yang and colleagues demonstrates that inhibitors of cyclooxygenase 1 COX-1 such as aspirin can enhance the immune response against cancer metastasis. Specifically, the researchers discovered that thromboxane A2-TXA2, a compound derived from platelets, triggers an immunosuppressive pathway in T cells through the guanine exchange factor RGF1. This pathway hampers T cell receptor signaling proliferation and effector functions. In experiments involving mice, the conditional deletion of RGF1 in T cells led to a marked increase in T cell activation at metastatic sites. This enhanced immune response resulted in the rejection of lung and liver metastases, demonstrating the critical role of RGF1 in modulating T cell immunity. Furthermore, the research quantified the impact of aspirin and selective COX-1 inhibitors on metastasis. The findings revealed that these treatments reduce metastasis rates in a manner reliant on T cell intrinsic expression of RGF1 and TXA2 signaling. Aspirin's ability to diminish TXA2 availability effectively releases T cells from immunosuppression, thereby enhancing their anti-cancer activity. Notably, the team highlighted that the relationship between aspirin TXA2 and T cell immunity could pave the way for more effective anti-metastatic immunotherapies. Previous meta-analyses have suggested that daily aspirin use correlates with a reduced risk of metastasis for various cancers, further supporting the therapeutic potential of this common medication. The implications of this research are profound. It not only elucidates a previously unrecognized immunosuppressive pathway involving platelet-derived TXA2 but also sets the stage for the development of targeted therapies that could enhance the efficacy of existing cancer treatments. Future studies may focus on identifying biomarkers that predict which patients would benefit most from aspirin or similar agents, ultimately refining cancer treatment protocols. As the scientific community grapples with the complexities of cancer treatment, this study serves as a reminder of the potential hidden within familiar medications like aspirin. The ability to harness the body's own immune system in conjunction with pharmacological interventions may represent a promising frontier in the fight against cancer metastasis. In an era of rapid technological advancement and shifting societal norms, the intersection of artificial intelligence, AI, academic integrity, and educational innovation has sparked an urgent dialogue among educators, policymakers, and students. As AI systems become increasingly sophisticated, they not only revolutionize industries but also challenge long-standing academic conventions, particularly concerning plagiarism and the evaluation of scholarly work. A recent exploration by Dr. David King Boyson highlights the complexities of this evolving landscape, emphasizing the need for academic institutions to rethink their approach to AI and its implications for education. The rise of AI-generated content has led to a significant increase in the use of advanced anti-plagiarism tools in educational settings. However, this reliance on technology presents an inherent irony. The systems designed to uphold academic integrity are themselves powered by AI. This paradox invites a critical examination of how plagiarism is defined and detected in an age where the boundaries of originality are increasingly blurred. As Boyson articulates, why should we restrict AI's role in academia to a narrow definition of plagiarism when its potential extends to enhancing innovation and learning? A comprehensive understanding of plagiarism must evolve beyond traditional definitions that equate similarity scores with unethical behavior. Research from institutions such as Purdue University and the International Center for Academic Integrity reveals that high similarity indices often reflect shared academic language rather than intentional misconduct. For many fields, the use of common phrases is unavoidable, and as Boyson notes, recognizing the nuance between standard academic language and unethical copying is essential for a fair assessment of scholarly work. The current landscape of plagiarism detection tools, largely algorithmic in nature, often fails to capture context and intention, leading to misidentifications of legitimate academic work. As highlighted by the OECD, the focus on overlap rather than ethical breaches creates a flawed system that does not adequately reflect the complexities of contemporary scholarship. The call for a paradigm shift is clear. Academic institutions must embrace AI as a collaborative partner rather than an adversary, recognizing its potential to augment human creativity and intellectual rigor. Boyson further posits that the educational system should leverage AI to foster critical thinking and creativity rather than stifle it. Drawing parallels to the historical introduction of calculators in mathematics, he argues that AI can free students from routine tasks, allowing them to focus on higher-order cognitive skills. AI should be regarded as a powerful research assistant that enhances our ability to interpret, analyze, and create, he asserts. Advocating for an educational framework that views AI as a tool for progress rather than a threat to academic integrity. Countries like China exemplify the transformative potential of AI in education, investing heavily in technology-enhanced learning environments that personalize student experiences and improve educational outcomes. Such initiatives highlight the importance of integrating AI into curricula across the globe, ensuring that students are prepared for the demands of a rapidly evolving job market. As Boyson notes, the future of academic assessment lies in real-world problem-solving and creative collaboration, with AI serving as an essential support tool for data analysis, simulation, and feedback. Looking ahead, the challenge for academic institutions is to redefine their relationship with AI, transitioning from punitive measures focused solely on plagiarism detection to a more holistic approach that values innovation, ethical reasoning, and real-world application. By embracing AI's capabilities and fostering an educational ecosystem where technology and human ingenuity work in harmony, academia can prepare the next generation of scholars to thrive in an increasingly digital and interconnected world. As the conversation surrounding AI plagiarism and academic integrity continues to evolve, it is clear that a collaborative approach is essential for leveraging the full potential of technology in education. The future of academia rests not in resisting change but in recognizing the opportunities presented by AI to enhance learning, creativity, and scholarly inquiry. By redefining academic integrity to encompass innovation and ethical engagement, educational institutions can lead the way in shaping a more informed and adaptable future. In a striking revelation that has raised eyebrows across political and economic spheres, staff members of the Department of Government Efficiency DOGE, an initiative led by Elon Musk, are reportedly drawing six-figure salaries funded by taxpayer dollars while simultaneously overseeing budget cuts within the very agencies they are employed to streamline. This unusual arrangement highlights the complexities and contradictions inherent in government efficiency efforts, as well as the increasing intersection of private sector practices with public administration. According to a recent report by Wired, employees like Jeremy Lewin, who was involved in dismantling USAID, are earning upwards of $167,000 annually. Similarly, Kyle Shutt, a software engineer at the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, is receiving a salary of $195,200, the cap for general schedule federal employees. These salaries come at a time when the DOGE initiative has been implicated in aggressive layoffs within federal agencies, including the recent disbandment of the General Services Administration's 18F unit, which focused on technology efficiency, a move that raises questions about the overall intent behind DOGE's purported efficiency measures. Musk, who initially characterized the work of DOGE as tedious and offered zero compensation during recruitment efforts, seems to have veered from this stance, as evidenced by the reported salaries of key personnel. The initiative has drawn on a team of engineers associated with Peter Thiel, utilizing platforms such as Discord for recruitment. The contrast between the stated goals of DOGE and the financial realities for its staff creates a complex narrative that merits scrutiny. While Musk claims that DOGE is committed to transparency, the agency has not publicly disclosed salary ranges or detailed spending reports. Recent data indicates that the DOGE budget has ballooned to approximately $40 million as of mid-February, with no clarity provided by the White House regarding the allocation of these funds. This ambiguity fosters skepticism about the initiative's true priorities and the extent to which it aligns with its stated mission of government efficiency. The designation of some DOGE staffers as special government employees (SGEs) further complicates the narrative. These positions, which can be either paid or unpaid, allow employees to maintain outside salaries and do not require the same level of conflict of interest disclosures typical of federal workers. Notable figures within DOGE include Katie Miller, a top aide who has continued her private sector work while serving in the government, raising ethical questions about the blending of public and private interests. The implications of these developments extend beyond individual salaries. They reflect a broader trend in which government functions increasingly mirror corporate practices. As public sector employees face layoffs and budget cuts, the stark contrast between their experiences and those of DOGE staffers underscores a growing divide within federal employment dynamics. Don Moynihan, a public policy professor at the University of Michigan, commented on the significance of these salary discrepancies, emphasizing the need for public understanding regarding compensation practices, especially in light of the layoffs affecting more experienced employees within these agencies. The situation raises critical questions about accountability, transparency, and the role of private sector influences in shaping public policy. As the story unfolds, it remains to be seen how the DOGE initiative will navigate the challenges posed by its internal contradictions and public backlash. The potential for reform or further entrenchment of these practices could significantly impact the future of government efficiency efforts and the relationship between public service and private enterprise in the United States. As the dialogue continues, stakeholders will be watching closely to see how this unique intersection of technology, governance, and compensation evolves in the coming months. In the intricate landscape of Middle Eastern geopolitics, emerging tensions between Turkey and Iran signal a significant realignment that could reshape regional dynamics. Recent comments by Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan have underscored this shift, suggesting that Iran's influence is waning, particularly as Turkey positions itself to capitalize on the vacuum left by Tehran. This growing rivalry is not merely a diplomatic spat but reflects deeper historical grievances and strategic interests that could have far-reaching consequences. On February 26, during an interview with Al Jazeera Arabic, Fidan criticized Iran's regional strategies, stating that Tehran's reliance on militias has led to significant losses for the Islamic Republic. If you try to create unrest in another country by supporting a group there, another country might support a group in your country to create unrest for you, he warned, alluding to the potential for escalating conflict through proxy groups. His remarks sparked a diplomatic uproar, prompting both nations to summon their envoys for urgent discussions. In response, Iranian officials quickly rebutted Fidan's claims, asserting that Iran has long opposed destabilizing actions against Turkey. "We were the first country to oppose and confront the coup against the Turkish government," stated Esmail Baghai, spokesperson for the Iranian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Yet the underlying tensions suggest a more complex interplay between historical animosities and contemporary power struggles. The two nations have a long history of rivalry, with Iran often aligning with European powers against the Ottoman Empire. This historical backdrop compounds current disputes, particularly around issues such as the support for separatist movements. Fidan's comments regarding potential Iranian support for Kurdish forces, a group Turkey designates as terrorists, struck a nerve, especially given Iran's diverse ethnic makeup that includes significant Azeri populations sensitive to separatist sentiments. Amidst these tensions, Iran's relations with the Kurdistan Workers' Party (PKK) have also come under scrutiny. Previously, Iran had been accused of providing military support to the PKK, a group that has historically opposed Turkish state authority. However, an unexpected twist occurred recently when Abdullah Öcalan, the imprisoned leader of the PKK, called for disarmament and dissolution of the group. His statement, delivered on February 27, was perceived as a considerable setback for Iranian interests in the region, particularly as Turkey strengthens its hold over its Kurdish affairs. The shift in PKK dynamics underscores a broader trend of Turkey gaining influence over regional affairs at Iran's expense. For instance, Turkey's involvement in the recent Azerbaijan-Armenia conflict, where Azerbaijan emerged victorious with Turkish support, further diminished Iran's regional leverage. Azerbaijan's access to strategic corridors has been bolstered, effectively reducing its reliance on Iranian infrastructure and energy supplies. In Syria, the Turkish-backed Hayat Tahrir al-Sham has successfully challenged the Assad regime, an ally of Iran, further complicating Tehran's regional ambitions. The fall of Damascus to Turkish-backed forces indicates a significant strategic loss for Iran, further amplifying Turkey's role as a regional power broker. As both nations navigate this fraught territory, the potential for conflict remains. Turkey's strong diplomatic posture reflects its intent not only to safeguard its borders but also to assert its influence in the broader geopolitical chess game. The ongoing diplomatic exchanges, characterized by mutual accusations and defensive postures, suggest that while both countries may seek to avoid outright conflict, the trajectory of their relationship could lead to further tensions. In conclusion, as Turkey continues to assert its influence in the region, Iran faces the challenge of recalibrating its strategies to maintain its position. The evolving dynamics of this rivalry will be crucial to watch in the coming months, particularly as both nations navigate their historical grievances and contemporary ambitions. Future developments could hinge on their ability to manage these tensions, potentially reshaping the Middle Eastern geopolitical landscape in ways yet unforeseen. In a groundbreaking revelation that reshapes our understanding of human evolution. Recent findings indicate that ancient humans were crafting tools from animal bones as far back as 1.5 million years ago, over a million years earlier than previously believed. This discovery, reported by Michael Marshall in New Scientist, suggests that our ancestors were adept at adapting their toolmaking techniques from stone to bone, indicating a level of cognitive sophistication that predates earlier estimates. The bones in question, unearthed by researchers, show clear signs of having been manipulated into tools, challenging long-held notions about the technological capabilities of early hominins. The ability to repurpose materials like bone indicates a significant advancement in the way our ancestors interacted with their environment, Marshall notes. This newfound timeline raises intriguing questions about the absence of bone tool records in the archaeological record for the subsequent million years. Did these tools simply not survive the ravages of time? Or did early humans transition to other materials that better suited their needs? While the implications of this discovery are profound, it is part of a larger tapestry of scientific revelations currently shaping our understanding of both our planet and the cosmos. On another front, astronomers have unveiled that our solar system traversed a vast wave of gas and dust approximately 14 million years ago, an event that may have dimmed the night sky significantly. Research led by Evrem Makoni from the University of Vienna, utilizing data from the Gaia Space Telescope, suggests that this cosmic wave, known as the Radcliffe wave, was once much closer to our solar system, potentially affecting both the visual and geological history of Earth. If we are in a denser region of the interstellar medium, that would mean that the light coming from the stars to you would be dimmed. It's like being in a foggy day, Makoni explains, highlighting the possible implications for our understanding of celestial interactions and their effects on Earth. Meanwhile, in a significant development in the field of quantum sensing, researchers from the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory have combined nanodiamonds and microdroplets to create a precise chemical detection tool. This innovative approach, described by Ashok Ajoy, involves using these tiny droplets, which are millions of times smaller than raindrops, to detect trace amounts of chemicals with remarkable sensitivity. We weren't even sure whether our technique would work, but it turned out to be surprisingly easy and effective, Ajoy remarked. The potential applications of this technology are vast, from monitoring environmental contaminants to enhancing diagnostic tests for diseases. With each of these advancements, the dialogue surrounding humanity's past, our place in the universe, and the cutting-edge technologies shaping our future continues to evolve. As researchers delve deeper into the past of our species and the cosmos, we are likely to see even more discoveries that challenge our understanding and open new avenues for exploration. The interplay between archaeological finds, astronomical studies, and technological breakthroughs underscores a pivotal moment in science, one that promises to redefine our comprehension of both history and the future.